Hey guys, it's me, Chef Mick. Welcome to Cooking for the Boys. Now, this one isn't live because, well, as you know, I started actually working a real job, and that's sort of hurt my scheduling. But we're going to do a real quick one this week. It's going to be pizza weekend. I'm going to show you a pizza crust to die for, guys. You're going to love the pizza crust. This crust we're going to use for the pizza. We're going to use it for a couple of other things I'm going to show you. Now, through the magic of editing, the pizza crust, the dough itself is going to have to rise for about an hour. So you're going to see me put it together right now. And whether you believe it or not, it'll be an hour before I start working on it again. Luckily, you don't have to see what I do for the whole hour because, well, I'm going to go ahead and edit all that part out. So here we go. Why don't we get started? First of all, chef coat, an apron, something, hat. Now let me show you my setup. This is a different kind of filming I'm doing, so bear with me. Here's my setup. Let's aim the camera down. There we go. Now, there we go. All right. This is how easy it is. This is going to be my glass bowl. If you have a different bowl, if you don't have one of these, that's fine. But this is the bowl I'm going to use. This is for my liquid, okay? For my flour, I have these, the cup, okay? If you don't have these, use this. If you do not have these, use this. If you do not have this, use these. Know this, use these. Know these, use this. All right. Well, that should clear it all up. And if you don't have these, you might be in trouble. All right, what do we do first? Well, why don't we get our flour, okay? Again, you can use a bread flour, even I would avoid a self-rising flour. No self-rising flour, please. Just use regular bread flour, whether it's bleached or non-bleached is up to you. If you want to use wheat, that's fine also. I understand why you would do that. But don't use the self-rising. We're going to use yeast. We don't want to throw this off, okay? Now it says we want how much? Oh my gosh, 3.5 cups. This is 1 cup, guys. So we're going to do 3 of these. Bum, bum, bum. Here's my bowl. Uno. How do you say 2 in Italian? I gotta ask my son Duran. Due, dos, do, you, what? I don't know. Tre, tre. Like that's really a word. All right. That was 2. Where's my half cup? I mean, sorry, that was 3. I lost count. 3.5. Okay. Remember, you're always gonna need extra flour when we do the rolling out and stuff. You're going to need the flour anyway. I can't believe the cord is in the picture. Let me move the cord out of the way. Oh my gosh, he set all this stuff up. I wish I had my producers and stuff here instead of making me do all this by myself. Now, all right, wait a minute. That's my recipe. I need my recipe. What am I supposed to know? Okay, let's combine the flour. Now, what else do we have dry? Well, we could use some sugar. Not yet, guys. The yeast, not yet. Why don't we throw in a couple of teaspoons of salt? Look, a teaspoon isn't big at all. In fact, get a teaspoon out of your drawer and use it, or use this thing that says 1 teaspoon. And then do it twice. It wants kosher salt. Kosher salt is what I always use. Kosher salt is in my crock pot. See my salt crock? Yes, kosher salt. There's 2 of them. Bam. As somebody famous says. Then, okay, we'll wait on the olive oil because we don't need it yet. Okay, so we've got salt and flour all mixed up together, all happy over there. Now, I forgot to get my olive oil out, so you can bear with me. I'll make it look pretty. Oh, look how pretty the olive oil is. Where is it? Ah, it's in camera. All that matters is that it's in camera. Now, let's worry about the yeast, guys. Okay, this is 1 yeast packet. It looks kind of big, but believe me, it's a yeast packet. I use condom packets that are bigger than this. I made a joke. Look at me. I'm so funny. Anyway, yeast. There's not a lot of it in there. Okay? Yeast. Now, remember we wanted sugar. Don't put sugar over here in the dry. Put sugar with the yeast. Okay? Let's put sugar. How much sugar did it want? It didn't want a lot of sugar, did it? No. It wanted a teaspoon of sugar. Just a teaspoon of sugar makes the medicine go down. Is that how that song goes? Is that a teaspoon? Okay, put it with the yeast, guys. Yeast actually eats the sugar. Yeast feeds off of the sugar. This helps the yeast build, multiply faster, which helps the bread rise faster. Without the sugar, it will still rise, especially active yeast. And that's what this thing says. This thing says fast-acting dry yeast. Okay? So fast-acting yeast does not need sugar. Put it in anyway. And then it wants, listen to the water, hold on. It wants warm water. Yeast works best in warm water with the sugar. All those three things combined are going to help this thing rise more. So what are we going to do? We're going to put warm water in here. You're going to put warm water in here, and then we're going to pour this into our dry, and we're going to mix it. Notice I don't have my rings on, okay? I took them off so that I don't get yeast and dough all over my rings. Take off your rings. All those with pretty diamonds and stuff on it that the diamond can fall out. Because believe me, they didn't spend a lot of money on you. You wish they did. Oh, I'm sorry. That is kind of mean. Okay, I don't spend a lot of money on my wife, but that's different. So, okay, maybe they spent a lot of money on you. God, don't be so sensitive. So sensitive. Okay? Now we're going to put this and we're going to get a nice cup of warm water going here. It doesn't have to be anything you boil on the stove. It'll come out. It'll come out, like the recipe I posted will say 110 degrees. So that is a little hotter than normal. And you shouldn't get that out of your tap, because if you do, there's something wrong with your tap. So let's throw all this in here. Okay. Including the yeast that didn't want to come out because it stuck to the bottom because we added the water later and didn't mix it together properly. Okay. And I can smell the yeast, which means the yeast is working. Okay, there we go. All right, and all we want to do is mix it up, guys. Look at this. Now, if you find out that 1 cup is too much, you have your flour there, okay? But before you do that, you have your flour. If you find out 1 cup is too much, dump a little bit, and I mean a little bit, of flour at a time to help soak up anything extra. You're going to find out, though, that you may want a little bit more water. All we're trying to do is make a nice, hey, stay on that side. All we're trying to do is make a nice dough out of this. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Now, I guess I should have told you the bowl you use, if you're going to leave it in there, we're going to leave it in there for about an hour. And then this thing is going to probably double in size. So if you're using a bowl that's just big enough to hold all this in, when it doubles in size, it will come off it will fall out of the edges. And then you're going to be, and if it does that, it might deflate all that yeast work that went into making it. And we don't want that. We want to make it big enough so that it expands and does not deflate our yeast. All right. And then you're saying, okay. So now we have, see? In fact, I'm going to put a little more water in. That's what I feel I need. I feel I need more agua. Agua. I need more water for this. So now you're thinking, wow, this is a lot of work. Well, it is. The yeast is going to do the work. You're not, trust me, mixing it like this is not hurting it. It's just trying to get enough water to make it all come together as a dough. Now we put in a cup, and a cup was not enough, my friends. So I added some more, and it's not enough. So what do? Oh my goodness. Should we panic and say, oh, we have a bad recipe? No. Just keep adding water a little at a time. If you remember, if you put in too much water, what do you add? Flour. That's right. Flour. Okay. Now it's coming close. How can I tell? Well, because I know what dough feels like. I know what dough looks like. I just don't make any dough. Another joke. Okay, it's not a joke. My wife keeps me in business. She makes the money. I am, for lack of a better term, a trophy husband. Therefore, I don't really make any money. Although I did get my new job, so I will make my own spending money so I can go out and buy my little toys, like cooking utensils and knives and things that I love to use in the kitchen. Kitchen toys. Get your mind out of the gutter. Kitchen toys. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, see, it's almost coming together. It's almost coming together. You see it falling apart still a little bit here and there? What does that mean, guys? That's exactly right. It means a little more water. All right. So we got a little more water in here. Okay. Put this back in here. I use the water to help scrape up what was left on the bottom there. Stuff that's hard to get to. And don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, guys. Dirty hands are wonderful in the kitchen. Well, okay, that sounds ugly. Okay, getting your hands dirty by cooking is wonderful. Coming to the kitchen because your hands are all dirty from working on your car, not so good. All right, now some dumbass chef put too much water in, so what's he doing? He's adding a little bit of flour. But if I'd put in this kind of water earlier, I wouldn't have had to make up the last 7 minutes of talking, and you guys wouldn't have had to listen to my bad jokes and talk about, what did I talk about? Whatever it was I was talking about. Buying my cooking utensils and being a trophy husband. All right, there we go. So, now, I'm going to scrape this off my hand. Come on, all this extra dough. Look at all this dough just sitting here. Now, it wants you to, the recipe says what you should be doing is, now we're gonna wrap it up with something, right? Put plastic wrap around it. Look, you can see how sticky it still is, but it's almost there. Just a little bit more flour. It's almost there. And then what happens when we add too much flour? Well, I could say you should add more water, but trust me, you won't be doing this. You won't be adding too much flour. It'll be just fine here in a second. Ooh, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And it smells great. I love the way the fresh dough smells. I really do. Okay, let's get this off of my fingers. Bum, bum, bum. And now, this is a lot of work. You're saying, wow, this is a lot of work for a pizza weekend. No, it's not. No, it's not. This is great. And if you have kids, you're going to throw a birthday party. I'm sorry, a Halloween party this weekend, right? If you're going to throw a Halloween party, you're going to have a bunch of kids over. If you're going to have a bunch of adults over. Now, this is beautiful dough, guys. Beautiful dough. Then, let's go ahead and do this. If you're going to have them over, this is the fun to have. Because this takes up the first, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of their time. And then it's got to rise. And while it's rising, they're going to go play and do the Halloween games that you're going to have for them. I hope you have Halloween party games. Now, let's go ahead and just put a little bit of olive oil on there. Extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to put it in my hand. I don't need the top in my hand. And let's rub it on our beautiful dough all over. Okay. We're going to rub the dough with olive oil. Beautiful. And now, this is beautiful dough. There you go. And now, we're going to cover it in plastic. And we're going to put it in a very dark place, the best place to put it, guys, is on top of your refrigerators. Your refrigerators usually are dry, on the top of them are. Usually, especially if it's near a counter or under a counter, it's going to be nice and dark there. But if it's not dark enough, make sure you turn off all your lights and everything else. You know, yeast works well, but it doesn't like to be seen as it's working. You know, kind of, well, I won't make that. Okay, I won't make that joke. Let me go find, wait right here. You watch my beautiful, beautiful dough right there. Let me go find my plastic wrap. Talk about not having my stuff in place. Watch out, guys. Wow. All right, my plastic wrap. Now, remember, this stuff is going to grow. So make sure you have plenty of plastic wrap over it, because if you don't, then it'll outgrow its own plastic wrap, okay? Dun, dun, dun. You should actually here, dumbass. I'm talking to myself here. There's plenty of plastic wrap. Make sure it just touches it down like that, but then comes on the outside. Now, all right, guys, this is it for now. We're gonna go put this on top of our refrigerator. We'll come back in an hour. You will not know that I've been gone for a whole hour, but believe me, I'll be gone for a whole hour. Hey guys, all right. You may not believe it, but it's been an hour. I know it doesn't seem that way because in this magical world of editing, it wasn't an hour. So before I pull down the dough and show you what we've done, let's get our other stuff ready. First, let's preheat an oven. Okay, you're gonna hear mine ding in a little bit in about 4.5 minutes. It's preheating. Preheat high, my friends. 425, 450, okay? Not 500, we don't want to do the broil. The broil cooks from the top. We want to get the whole oven hot. When we cook pizza, it goes in, it doesn't stay in long. It comes out, that dough needs to cook. So don't be afraid to preheat it high. I have mine set at 430. 430 degrees. The pizza I'm going to put in will cook in about, I don't know, 10 minutes or less. If you do a big deep dish one, you may want to keep it in for 15, 20 minutes. That's fine, but it still needs to be high heat. All right, so we've got that going. Now, what do we put on a pizza? Well, we always start with the pizza sauce. We always start with the tomato sauce. You can at the store buy a can that says pizza sauce on it or whatever. If that's what you want, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But never settle for what the company tells you is good. Make it yourself. Make it your way. If you don't want to make it from scratch, I understand. It's difficult. So let's do it this way. Remember, I don't have any contracts with anybody. I'm not endorsing anything. I don't care what you buy. I don't care if you buy the local brand. I don't care if you buy name brand. Buy a jar, not of pizza sauce, but of pasta sauce. Pasta sauce, which means something for pasta. Okay? Now, you're not going to use all of it probably. Make sure you have something to put it in. Make sure you have a container. I hate when I do that. Make sure you have a container to hold it in. This is my pasta sauce. Okay? We're going to cook it on our stove. This is just a little saucepan. Okay? This isn't a big one. It's a small one. Let's turn on the heat to that. All right, the heat's on. Okay, let's add. This was just that whole can. I'm not going to have the whole can, because I'm not going to use the whole can. Okay? In fact, I'm only making one pizza. If you're going to make 2 pizzas, and the dough is going to be enough for 2 14-inch pizzas. That's a lot of pizza. If you're going to do that, that's cool. But that means you're going to need all of that sauce. Now, the thing is, when you get the sauce out, here, let me turn this for you. Okay, when you get the sauce out, don't be afraid to taste it out of the can. It's a very sweet sauce. Most pasta sauces, most of these things in the cans are going to be very sweet. If you don't want it that sweet, Then cut it with tomato sauce. Again, I'm not endorsing any brand, just a regular small can of tomato sauce. Okay, that's what this is right here. Now, I'm not making a big pizza. I'm making one thing, so I don't need a lot. I'm only going to throw a little. But this tomato sauce does not have the same sugar content. In fact, it shouldn't have any sugar in it. It does have salt and garlic and bell pepper and that kind of stuff. But it's going to cut the sweetness of the other sauce. I need something to stir this with. Okay. Now, you're saying, oh, that's great. Now we have that going. It's going to heat up a little bit. But, ladies and gentlemen, that should not be all you do. Don't forget pepper. Pepper. Now, it may have spices in there, but salt and pepper are generally not the ones they're putting in there. Those are up to you. Remember, everything's bigger in Texas, baby. If you want to throw some salt, that's fine. Remember, this is sea salt. This is really good stuff. I don't need a lot of it. But the most important thing you can throw in my opinion, whoops, let's go with this way. Well, before I get to the most important one, you want to throw some Italian seasonings in there, even though you just bought a traditional pasta sauce. Okay? Not one of the mushrooms, not one with meat in it, none of that stuff. Just, I told you it was going to go off, didn't I? Okay? Go ahead and throw some Italian seasoning. Alright? Remember, we want to make this our own. We want to change the taste. Do not trust the taste coming out of that can is what you guys are going to like. But if it is, use it. If it isn't, if it's not what you like, do what I'm doing. Change it. Make it your own. And then finally, I love crushed red pepper. Now, you see it on the table and everybody throws it on top of their pizza. Put it in your sauce. You're making your pizza your way. You like this stuff. I love this stuff. Put it in the sauce. And then put it on top of your pizza when the pizza's ready. Okay? The amount you put in is up to you. I don't know how brave you really are. So, we've got this going. We've got a nice pizza sauce right here. All right. Turn that down. We've got a beautiful, let me see if I can do this, because if I drop it, it hits the computer, and then I get killed. Beautiful pizza sauce. That's what we're going to spread on our pizza, on our dough. Also, I bought a bag of pepperoni. Doesn't matter who makes it. Look, pepperoni. These are cool little pepperoni things. You can go to your deli and ask them to cut up the pepperoni. You can go buy this bag, which shows you the small little pepperoni rounds, which, you know, you just put on the pizza, which is cool. You can also put them on sandwiches and other things. And again, cheese. Mozzarella is usually what they spread on there, the big white cheese. So I have mozzarella, but I also have an Italian, you know, a 4-cheese blend that has, you know, a cheddar, a provolone, an Asiago, and a mozzarella, whatever. All of this cheese will go on your pizza. It is your pizza. Put the stuff you want on it. If you don't want a pepperoni pizza, you want to do something cool, instead of buying this, buy the Alfredo sauce. Get yourself some chicken. Chicken in a can would work. It's the easiest thing to work with. Let me see. See? Chicken in a can, Alfredo sauce, some spinach, fresh spinach, and you can make a great little chicken Alfredo pizza, or just a spinach Alfredo pizza with whatever kind of cheese you want in it, all those kind of things. Sky's the limit for you guys. That's what pizza is. It is just the most versatile thing you can have. So, I'll tell you what. We've made our sauce. I know what I'm putting on my pizza. Let's check out. And let me move this out of the way. Remember, these are the things I'm going to put away in a while. Let's check out my dough. Bum, bum, bum. Top of the refrigerator. Like I said, the top of the refrigerator. Oh, it's so scary up there. I'm so scared. Okay, before we, oh my goodness. Before I pull this out, and if I don't know if you can see it, but trust me, it went from there to here. It rose. Trust me, it doubled in size. I know it did. Make sure you throw a little bit of flour on whatever surface you're using. Okay? A little bit of flour. Now let's get this dough out of here. It's going to get sticky and icky and yucky and yucky and all the other things. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. I'll put that over here. Beautiful. A little bit of flour on this side so I can deal with it on my hands. Flour my hands. Flour this. Look at that. Now, whoops. I'm doing this and you can't see it because I don't have the camera faced right. Ah, now you can see it. Okay, now, watch this. Ooh. Okay. Fold it in half. Push down into it. Fold it again. Basically, what you're doing here is kneading it. When you're hungry, you need it. When you cook it, you need it. Oh, I'm a funny guy. Oh, yeah. Okay. Speaking of funny guys, you can also add mushrooms, because more than one mushroom would be a fun guy. Look at that. Look how smooth it looks. Look how beautiful it looks. It's that olive oil that we put on the outside of it. Now, there's a billion things to do with this, but wait right there. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back, and there's a cat in my kitchen. Freaking cats. You know, it wasn't my idea to get a cat. Let me pontificate a bit, or whatever that word is. It was not my idea to get a cat. It was not my idea to get a second cat. But it is my idea to figure out the right way to dispose of the cats and make my wife think that it was an accident. I just haven't come up with that yet. Okay, that's not a nice thing to say. Let's get back to the pizza. Here we go. Okay, now, look, if you're holding your weekend party, this is going to make 2 big pizzas. Beautiful stuff. Okay? It really is. But if you're only going to make it like I'm going to do, I'm going to make one today, and then I'll save some for later. You get one of these things. It's called a freezer bag. You cut this thing at least in half. At least in half. In fact, I don't even need that much, so I'm going to cut less than half. Okay? There you go. Now I got more on this side, and it's going to go in here. It goes in the bag like this. If you want to press it down a little bit like this, just easier to work with later. Okay, you see that? You do this to it, you close it up nice and tight. I like to get rid of all the air. Ladies and gentlemen, this goes in the freezer. Anytime you need pizza dough, and you're saying to yourself, wow, when do I need pizza dough? I'm going to tell you when. But anytime you need it, this is in the freezer. You pull it out, you can let it defrost a little bit, not all the way soft, and you can just pull off the chunks that you need. Okay? Let me put this in the freezer. So now we have something to work with. All right. Well, this is pizza. This is pizza dough. We put actual yeast in here. What we don't want to do is pull out a rolling pin and pretend it's a tortilla and beat the crap out of all the air that's in here. What you do want to do is figure out what you're going to make. In my case, I don't have a pizza pan. If you do, wonderful. If you don't worry about it. This is my cake pan, non-stick cake pan. It works beautifully. I don't know the size of it, but I do know that we're going to spray it down a little bit. Am I going to spray it down? Yeah, let's spray it down a little bit. If you have some cornmeal, put some cornmeal on there so that the flour, so that the dough can be lifted off of there really easily. Since this is non-stick, it lifts off anyway, but the cornmeal is always a good idea. Now, this is a lot to fill this pan, okay? This is going to spread a lot more. I don't want to just make the pizza. In fact, what I normally make for this is what I make my deep dish in. I use half of the thing, this is less than half, and I put it all the way around the sides, and I force it all in there. This one I'm just going to use only the entire bottom. I'm not going to worry about the sides. So, let's do it this way. Let's see. Okay, you can do this. This is why you can keep going in circles like this and expanding your dough. Push it out a little bit with your thumbs and expand your dough. Now you're saying, well, this is going to take a long time. You're right, it does. This is why pizza makers throw the dough in the air. They keep it round like this and they throw it because it helps stretch it a little bit more. And suddenly it's even wider. And then you throw it again, but you catch it. They catch it, usually they catch it on their fist and they throw it up again. Okay, it's hard to do, but let's see if I can't do it one time for you. Yes, I love to do this kind of stuff. All right, but look how big it's already getting. Now you can see this is still really thick. Okay, and we throw it, and we throw it, and we throw it. They're a lot better, and they do all kinds of weird things with it. I'm not gonna twirl it like that, but see how easily it's gone without using a somebody's texting me and somebody's calling me, without using a rolling pin. We just have enough dough now. Basically, let's do this down here. Basically, we have enough dough to cover our pan, and we can make it bigger. So we know how much we already have. So what are we going to do about it? Well, this is what we're going to do about it right here. We already know we have more than enough to fit this pan. So let's do something cool with this pizza. Okay? Let's take this. We're going to use part of it for the dough, and then let's take another part of it off. Okay, now we have this part cut off from this. This is our actual crust. Put it in here. You know, I'm not even going to... yeah, I should spray it. Let me spray it. Let me spray it. Let me spray it. Wow. Spray. This is an olive oil cooking spray. Olive oil cooking spray. That's all I need to do. So spray a little olive oil. If you don't have the cooking spray, that's fine. Okay. Spray. And then just, you know, press it out a little bit. All the way around. All the way around. Spread it out a little bit. Da, da, da. If you need to throw it in the air more, or whatever it is you feel like you need to do, that's fine. If you end up, look at this, this is important. If you end up where you have holes right here where you can see the bottom, pinch the dough together. Pinching together will work. You can pinch and then you can push the sides and still pull it out. Pull it from the center, push it to the outside. Oh, this is going to be great. Now look what we've got. This is what we've got. This is what we've got. A beautiful little pizza. This is a nice little personal pizza. If you have a bigger dish or whatever, you can do that. If you have a square one, don't be afraid. Make it square. You know, nothing wrong with that. Now, let's throw our sauce. Let's sauce it up, baby. Sauce it up. I was distracted by my phone. And then, but look, remember, we didn't use very much of any of those sauces. Those sauces, where the heck did that accent come from? Wow. Anyway, we didn't use very much of the sauces. And here we go. Now, check it out. You see how the outside, I have a crust, I have the sauce on the inside. Beautiful stuff. Let's fill it with queso, my friends. Let's fill it with cheese. Any kind of cheese you want to fill it with, remember. But I am using Italian cheese. I'm just making a simple pepperoni. Now you're saying, wow, that looks like a lot of cheese. It is a lot of cheese. But there's nothing wrong with a lot of cheese on your pizza. Okay? Now, I don't think I'll be on the air long enough to show you how it comes out. Maybe I'll come back and through the magic of editing show you what happens here. Look at that. Beautiful, right? Now, let's finish off with some pepperoni. Bum, bum, bum. And then, after I throw this in the oven, I'm going to show you something really cool and real quick. Okay? The pepperoni, you can put it in any style you want, guys. If you want to make designs with it, if you want to spell out happy birthday with it, you want to cut it in halves, whatever it is you want to do with it, you do it. After all, it's your pizza. Own it. Make it yours. Simple. Pepperoni pizza. This is small. It shouldn't take more than the 10 minutes. I've already got it at 4:30. Bam. In the oven, my friends. Now, look at this. What are we going to do with this? Well, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. Okay? We're going to get another pan. And I don't know where my other pan is. So we're going to use this pan. It's very simple. I won't make them big. Okay? If you have a dough knife, and you know what I'm talking about, that's fine. If you don't have one, get a butter knife, and you don't need anything extremely sharp. You just need something that's going to cut this dough in half for you. In fact, I'm using the back end of my butter knife. Okay, just so you can separate it. See? Put this is a pizza dough, but put it right here. Roll it out. If you roll from the middle, it will, you can do this. Roll from the middle and stretch it out like that. Roll from the middle, stretch it out. I'm fighting with my camera too. Okay? Don't forget to spray your pan a little bit. And, okay, spray your pan. You can put this in here. Okay, we're only going to make 2 of them. We don't need a lot. But you can cut them, you can make them thinner, you can make more than 2, you can make as many as you want. You put them in the pan like this. That's right, guys, we're making breadsticks. Now, you're saying, okay, you made breadsticks. In fact, when you do this, make sure you spray not just the pan, spray the bread so it can brown a little. You know, you can throw a little bit of seasoning, some salt, some garlic powder, whatever it is you want to throw on your breadstick. Okay, so now we have a breadstick. What else can we do with this? Well, here's the other one that was going to be a breadstick. Let's go back to the dough. Why don't we make a calzone? This is going to be a mini calzone. Okay, you would make them whatever size you want. Use a little bit of that sauce that we just had, the pizza sauce. Put it on there. Put a couple of little pepperonis in there. Fold it over and cook it. That's another use for it. Breadsticks, calzones. You see the size of this thing? This is, in fact, this is a really good size, just a handful. A regular hot dog, whatever kind of hot dog you like, or whatever kind of sausage you usually eat, you know, that you put on your hot dog buns. Just use this, spread it out, cut the hot dog in half and put it in here, and you have a, you know, the little pigs in a blanket type things, but on a little bit larger scale. Okay? That also works. You can use this. You can fill the, what are they called? Muffin pans or cupcake pans. You can drop this in, you can fill it in, and you can cook it that way and use the little breads as appetizers that you can fill with anything you want, you know, whether it's going to be a ricotta cheese in it or anything like that. This is so what's the right word, guys? I don't even know the right word. This is so versatile. This is so versatile that you can do a lot of things with it. Pizza dough can be used for a lot of things. Look, we have a breadsticks. We have a pizza. We can do pigs in a blanket. We can do calzones. We can do little cups to use as appetizers and fill with whatever we want. This can be used for a lot of things. This is why I'm teaching you how to make it, because it's not just so you can have pizza. It's so that you can have options. All right, guys, thank you all very much. I'm going to wait for my pizza and I'm going to eat it. I'm also going to throw in my 2 breadsticks. Remember, go from the center, push out. Go from the center, push out. Go from the center. Ah, there you go. Okay, go from the center, roll it, roll it, roll it, push out. Throw it in here. Do that to it. Throw some salt on it. Give it some salt. Give them both some more salt. I like salt on my breadsticks. In fact, put as much salt as you want on the outside. It's like doing pretzels. Throw them back. Throw them in the oven with the pizza, which is really looking good. And ladies and gentlemen, this is your pizza weekend. All right? Get the kids together, throw a party, have them make their own pizzas. Have a game night. Call over your friends. Have a game night, serve pizza slices, serve calzones, serve the little cups I talked about, serve pigs in a blanket, whatever you want to do. It's a great time for a pizza weekend. You're going to see how versatile it is, and I even have some in the freezer for whenever I need it in an emergency, a pizza emergency. You know, that time at the end of the month when the paycheck's already running out and you don't want to order pizza, but you really want to have pizza. That's what it's for. Now, I know the pizza's not ready. I know it's not cooked yet, but I'm not going to talk to you again I'm not going to talk for the next 5 minutes with nothing to say. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'll throw it back in. I'm going to end this thing and we're good to go. So let's see. But this is to show you how well it's cooking. On high heat, my friends. On high heat, my friends. Let's do this. Look at that. The dough's still, look, you can tell. The dough's almost ready. Okay, it's only been a few minutes. The dough's almost ready. It's going to be in a couple more minutes. Look at that. Doesn't that look wonderful? Doesn't that look? And it's going to pop right off of here. I'm going to cut it, eat it myself. This is going to be wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Please follow Cooking for the Boys on Twitter. Look for my page on Facebook, Cooking for the Boys Live. Go to my website, www.ricklucio.com. Tell all your friends. I'm really trying to do something here, not just for myself, but for everybody. Everybody should learn how to cook. My boys learned how to cook. They're all in their 20s. My nieces and nephews are all running off to college and stuff now. They need to know to do this stuff. You can't always eat out. You can't always afford those kind of things. But if you know how to cook, you can marry for looks. All right, guys. I'm Chef Mick. This is a Revolution Studio production. Thank you all for tuning in.